What's up, you guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade, and you're watching Sounds Good. Now, I've been making videos on YouTube for the past 2 years, and first of all, I want to say thank you guys to you guys who watch all my videos and who are here every single Friday for the new upload. But I wanted to let you guys know there's going to be some changes. I've realized that in this pursuit of reaching more people, I've shifted my focus to more of the, I guess we'll call it the YouTube tutorial junk food. The stuff that really doesn't advance you guys as musicians in your careers. And that's tough for me because in order to feed the algorithm, I need to be making these catchy videos that people want to click on. But at the same time, I want to have an impact on producers, not just get a bunch of views. So I'm trying to make videos that I would have benefited from when I was starting out. I've been making music for such a long time, and I want to help you guys get similar results to what I got. And that's why I'm making today's video. I wanted to share with you guys my 3 best tips that I give every single producer who asks me, how do I get better at making music? And the third one's by far the most important, so make sure to watch to the end. So before we get into number 1, I want to let you guys know we've got a awesome sample pack out if you guys want to support the channel. As always, you can grab my free finishing music checklist. Everything is down in the description. If you guys want to check out my music, down there in the description as well. So the first tip is referencing. You guys know I'm a huge proponent of referencing. I talk about it all the time. It's my number 1 mixing tip. Now, when I say use a reference track, I don't mean that you need to sound exactly like your reference track. You might not have the skills for that yet, and that's okay. You shouldn't be afraid to put out your music if it's not the best S-tier quality music out there. If you wait until your music gets there, you'll never put out any music. You use a reference track as a guide, as sort of your North Star when you're in the studio. If you don't know where you're going when you're producing, then you'll end up trying to backtrack once you're done and you listen to another track that you would have used as a reference and go, man, my track doesn't sound like that. Now I need to go back and make all these changes. You can use a reference track, like I said, for mixing, but you can also use it to generate new ideas. Maybe you don't know what to do for the intro. Look at your reference track. What did they do for the intro? The second point is study, but this comes with a caveat. Actually, make it 2 caveats. First caveat is don't let studying get in the way of production time. Production time is going to be far and away the best way to learn how to produce music, period. And the second caveat is don't overpay for educational material. Don't ever stretch yourself to where you're going to be put in a financial bind if you get this piece of study material. It's like paying for music school if you can't afford it, or taking out credit cards to get this masterclass, thinking that that's what's going to get you to where you want to be. It's not true. That said, and that out of the way, studying, investing in teaching, and really trying to understand your tools and techniques is going to be hugely beneficial, especially for you new guys out there. Watching YouTube tutorials can be helpful, but also watching really long form live streams. And like I said before, don't use your production time to study. Use the time that you would normally be spending consuming other material. Maybe instead of watching Netflix, you watch a production live stream. Or instead of scrolling Instagram, you're on YouTube watching a couple of sound design tutorials, or watching Sounds Good, of course. Try to prioritize that time intentionally for studying. When you sit down to produce, that's your time to produce. If you run into a wall, if you feel like you want to do something but don't know how to do it, resist the urge to go on YouTube to try to figure it out. If you go through the struggle of trying to figure it out on your own, you'll learn so much more than just going to YouTube for the quick fix. I'm not speaking here on my high horse either. I know that it's really hard. I succumb to distraction all the time, but I know it's bad for my output. If I focus my time in the studio on creating that next piece of music, that's what's going to get me further. And that comes to the third point and the final point. The best way to get better at making music is to make more music. Now, the first thing that I hear when somebody tells me this is, well, my music is I need to get better at making music before I can make music. Nobody makes music well right out of the gate. Everybody sucks when they start out. And if you're waiting for this time where your music is suddenly good and now you can make music all the time, it'll never come. You need to chase the feeling of making a new song and you being excited about it. Not what the world is going to think about it, because that's all relative and it changes all the time. It's first and foremost about how you feel, because if you feel excited about it, somebody else is going to feel excited about it. I guarantee you. Now, you may not find those people right when you post it. It's not going to get all of this acclaim, but that's not why we make music in the first place. We make music to share with other people, of course, but we also make music because we love it. You're not watching this YouTube video right now because you want to win the appreciation of your friends. You're watching this video because you want to get better at making music. So really prioritize finishing as many songs as you can. Now, another thing that I hear from people is that, well, I don't want to make subpar music. I don't want to make music just to make it, just to check the box and say I made it and make a bunch of crappy music. Well, we already talked about you're going to make crappy music to begin with, no matter what. And I would push back on this too, because the people who spend a year making one song rarely make that much better of a song than somebody else who makes 100 songs in a year. I love the analogy that Il Gates, shout out Il Gates, he's fantastic. But he has this great analogy of making music like playing an RPG. Whenever you finish a song, you get a certain amount of XP. Experience points. You encounter a bunch of different challenges that are completely unique to this song, and by the end of your creative process, you have now leveled up just a little bit more. So making 10 bad songs in a row is going to be much more beneficial than you making one song that's only 5-10% better. Getting your reps in is fundamentally the best way to get better at making music. A couple of tips for doing this is, you guys will find these in the finishing music checklist too, but here's a couple of them. The first one is setting a deadline for yourself, or if on the micro scale, it's just setting your timer. Try to see how fast you can make a song in an hour, or even cut it down to 20 minutes. This is something I do with my one-on-one students all the time. If I'm just having trouble finishing music, well, put a deadline on yourself. Guarantee you'll finish that song if you have an adequate deadline. Or it doesn't even have to be a whole song, just an idea. Getting ideas down too, that's another great way to spark your creativity. But finishing music is where the magic happens. If you have a library of 25 unfinished beats, that doesn't mean half as much to 25 completely finished songs. I'm sure that you've talked with another producer and you're like, oh, send me some of your unreleased stuff. And they send you a folder that has like 50 songs in it. You're like, gosh, I wish I could produce that much music. Guess what? You can. You just have to get over yourself and over your ego of wanting every song to be the best song in the world. Get your reps in. Over time, you would have made so many songs that you'll be able to have that quality. You've encountered all of those challenges and all of those obstacles and figured out solutions for them. And the ones that you haven't, you go back and you study. That way you know what you're looking for. That way you know what you're trying to figure out too, because a lot of times people just go, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll find the answer in the next mixing video, which is going to be the topic of another video. All in all, guys, I want you guys to become better producers. That's the only reason why I do this video every single week, is for you guys. For you guys watching this video, I want to help you guys get better. In that pursuit, I'm still trying to get better every single day. And this is the stuff that I do for myself. That's the only way I know how to share these ideas with you guys, is because I'm implementing them myself. When you're done watching this video, close down YouTube and go open your DAW and make some new music. Don't forget, soundsgoodrex.com. Go grab the Clouds pack if you guys don't have it already, and grab the free finishing music checklist. It's in the description of the video, completely free for you guys. It will help you finish more music. And you guys know, now that we finished the video, finishing more music helps you make better music. We'll see you next week.